play me out. Now I'm mad as hell, and I'm full of doubt. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Back on the scene, it's time to get mean. I'm a lean, revolution machine. Won't want people stay, they sweat. 1, 2 day is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Don't cross the line, and you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll.
Double time, and something in your rigor. 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 Double time, and something in your rigor.
Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? 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 Who you wanna roll with?
Happy Thursday.
Now that's an intro. That's a good idea, putting that on there. That totally works, man. I noticed you added a little Mad Hatter thing in there. You know, it's kind of a nice touch.
Little
Good
Mad
intro.
Hatter promo.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, that's where you are, too. You know, I mean, promoting yourself while promoting them. Yeah.
I'm trying to fix some issues, so give me a second.
Seconds up, man.
You guys can talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. Of course, I don't know the words.
Back on the scene, it's time to get mean. I'm a mean revolution machine.
Yeah, we could do that, you know. I could. There we go on tour. Okay, we'll give you a little intro, a little music. Put some music on. How about?
Knock shit over? Really? I'm knocking shit over? What I do? I broke it? What did I break? Oh. Hey, you can throw that back here. I can use that. Oh, it's empty? Oh. Yeah, throw me a full one. This is fun working at a dispensary.
I think I just I had my phone on and oh boy, that was not good. We had echoes. I want to hear that back later. That was probably psychedelic, some psychedelic stuff going on there. Wow. All right, I think I'm okay now. I love live radio because there's always something going on where I have to fix and get something ready. And for some reason, my headphones died. I got to figure out why they died, so I'm using this set of headphones, and I hope everything sounds good, but who knows?
You got an echo.
All right, Lefty, you're out of here. There you go. Get out of here, Lefty. So, Sue, is Sue there with us, or where's Sue?
Yes.
I see her running around doing something over there. We got a busy month coming up here in April. We got events at the Mad Hatter at April 5th. There's a AT party. And, of course, Earth Day is the big one. Earth Day is going to be our 420. We'll have panel discussions. We're going to have samples. We're going to have a dab bar, of course. All events at the Mad Hatter will have a dab bar, just so you know. It's a given. That's just a given.
Yeah, there's a lot could happen on that day, you know.
And there's going to be all kinds of stuff going on. They're going to have seeds, probably some clones, nothing for sale, but just for demonstration and for education, which I really like.
And a panel
Because
discussion.
remember when they used to use basil? Remember they used to use basil?
Tell us about the panel discussion.
Jim, I can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Oh.
Are you muted? I don't know.
Yeah.
I hear something.
Hold on.
What am I hearing?
No, I'm not muted. Hold on.
What am I? Oh, I'm hearing. Oh, my goodness. I got a TV on here in the room. Oh, my goodness. Jim, are you there?
Yeah, do you hear me?
Oh, no.
Do you hear me?
Oh, no. I didn't have you up. Okay. Never mind. I had
do you
echo
hear
on.
me?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Nod your head if you hear
Yeah.
me.
Can you hear me now? All right, good.
How about if I don't answer
I had to
you?
bring
How would
everything
that
down
be?
on the board because I had an echo issue. And this is why I love live radio, like I said.
Yeah,
I
so
love
like-
live radio just because of that.
Yeah. Well, no, but see,
Watch, point and laugh at Lefty. Now I got to fix other issues in the room. Hold on. I'll be right back.
We're not holding on for shit, man. We'll go on without you. Okay, we're not going on without you, are we? Okay.
Oh, man. I'm having such issues today. Oh, my goodness. All right, can we start the show over? What time is it now? 4:36. All right, let's start over. Ready to go. Hi, Jim. How are you?
Start the
Hi,
fucking
Sue.
show.
How are you? Sue from the Cannabis Nurses Network. We're sharing this nationwide and worldwide.
Yeah.
Sue is getting ready.
This is a
She's
do-over.
getting ready. I could see her.
Are you gonna do? Yeah, you had a good intro. It's everything after the intro sucked.
Yeah, everything after the intro is not good. I had a problem.
Well, we'll average it out though. That has a way of happening with a good guest on Thursday. I'm assuming she'll be on in a little bit. That's why we don't have guests scheduled for 4:20 or 4:30 to allow this to happen. To allow it.
What's going on?
Well, what's going on is, I guess, we can talk about it here, at the beginning real quick. That Vin Gopal got back to Jeff King because Jeff King actually sends letters to his senator. And the background on that is that 3.5 years ago, when Jeff King does the simple things, and he was engaging Senator Gopal on his Facebook page. This is before Senator Gopal was involved. And what he said to Jeff was, why don't you hit me up? Why don't you hit me up legit for an appointment to talk about things, instead of trolling me here on Facebook? To which Jeff replied, Jim said Miller said this might happen, so I put the first 2 emails that I emailed you and you didn't answer. They're up on Let Patients Grow nj.com. So he put that on Vince. Now this is happening in front of other people on his Facebook page, maybe watching this unfold, you know.
Why do I look like this?
I don't know. Are you laying down and you went on an extreme diet?
Very funny.
Look at that.
That's all I got. You know?
Here, wait. You know what?
It make me like. Let's make me like that too, and then we'll outnumber you, and you'll look weird. People will go, why does
back
it look
out
you
and I'll
like
just
that?
come back in.
You got to turn your phone. I think
Huh?
turn your phone.
I'm not using my phone. I'm using my laptop.
Oh, wow.
Wait, you know what? I'm going to go out and come back in.
Turn your laptop on its side.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be here.
I'll be here.
Well, you don't know you'll be here. Look how it started out. We could all disappear.
We could all just. I love live radio. This is why I love live radio.
Let's see. Okay,
This is fun.
Okay, I'm going to leave the studio and come back in.
All right, you leave the studio and come back in. Let's try that.
Otherwise, I'll just start playing tunes on the keyboard here.
Oh, we got too much to talk about. We got a lot going on in New Jersey.
Yeah, well, like I was saying, that Vin Gopal that he got back to Jeff. Jeff has his
Bucko.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you about that later.
Normal.
I'll tell you about that later, actually. You know,
Upstate.
What were you saying?
So upstate. All right.
Well, real quick, Christo might be on later. He won his VASPA case against the BA from Edison. She filed a restraining order against Christo, and she lost because it was just crap. It was bullshit. The whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
we have a guest. What time's our guest going to be on?
Yeah, when's our guest coming on, Sue?
5:30.
Good.
Oh, 5:30. That's Linda Casal. Is that how you say her name?
Casal, yeah.
Yeah, Casal. She's a cannabis nurse.
She's a cannabis nurse, and she works with the VA.
Yeah.
And
that's interesting. That's going to be good.
Yeah, I figured that would be, something different.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot I don't know about that, and everybody thinks they know what goes on at the VA and doesn't. And I'm always learning from people like her. Okay, the real story here.
Right.
And it's just knowing that much. I'm assuming I'll be making notes on questions to ask along the way. I would think, because I learn more than most people, I think, from the podcast, and it might be because I know the least amount about it at the beginning, though. So I'm handicapping it, Yeah. And my first trip to Mad Hatter on
Did you go there?
No, I'm going to be going on the 20. I'm going to be going in a month. It's coming up. Yeah.
How far is it from you?
About an hour and 10, maybe. An hour, 10 minutes. Yeah, not too bad. Easy roads. It's all out turnpike most of the way. Mm-hmm. And then a little bit on whatever road that is. So anyway, real quick though, Vin Gopal looked like he might be shaping up to be the speaker at the podcast on it at
Who?
Vin Gopal at the Lefty's podcast, first one of the year. Yeah, he wants to speak at a rally. He told my guy on the inside, who's his constituent, who mails letters to him from me, And like I was saying, Jeff was engaging him on Facebook, and when Vin on Facebook said, "Why don't you hit me up legit for an appointment so we can discuss things rather than troll me here on my Facebook thing?" To which Jeff said, Jim Miller said, "You might say that." No, said that this might happen. So that's why I emailed you twice for an appointment, legit. And you didn't answer either, and they're both posted right now.
Yes, I did. I answered you.
No. He says, Jeff says, no, the emails are posted on letpatientsgrownj.com. Your emails to me that were and my emails to you that were unanswered are dated as waiting for an answer for you. And so don't tell me I'm trolling you, I tried legit. To which then got to them immediately, obviously not on Facebook, private message. I mean, not in front of everybody else. And yeah, that started the process. And then through Jeff, he became really interested in what he had to say, meaning what I had to say, because Jeff's the only person that he actually is the first one to mail as a constituent letter to his people. And he always sends it out exactly like I write it. And somehow they seem to freaking work for him. I don't get it. But anyway,
Yeah, you better.
he sent Vin the last letter for me exactly like I wrote it. Vin didn't get in touch for maybe 10 days. And then it might have been when Vitelli co-sponsored, a couple days after that, he got back saying, I'm trying everything out. I'd like to speak at a rally. Like, okay. So Jeff is getting back in touch with him now because I just sent him back what to say. And he has the offer, hey, the rally that's going to be on there. And, this is the 10th year of the Sativa Cross Fourth Thursday podcast. So credentialing, no, it's not just somebody's going to, whatever. But that he's saying to a constituent, I'm really trying everything I can think, well, it will help you have ideas. And so I didn't mention, okay, Jeff didn't mention also what would be awesome would be to start out at the Mad Hatter on Earth Day. It's Earth Day at the Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
It's all about, Vin is finding out there's already going to be a medical home grow panel discussion happening at their Earth Day celebration with, credentialed speakers, and that maybe he'd like to do that and then actually go to the rally at the State House 2 days later. That would be trying everything you can, Vin, without saying it like that. You know what I mean? And so I'd say that has a better chance of happening than not. But I know this is public and maybe right now. And Jeff he said something about that on Facebook saying, hey, did you get that letter Vin Gopal sent me? I copied it to you. I didn't really want it to be like, I don't want cheerleaders right now. I just want to see how this works out. So anyway, the offer is we can have a Zoom meeting, me and Vin and whoever might be, his people, and Jeff, and then Lefty. That would be the plan because it would be his podcast, and we could discuss that and see how it goes. But to do that, now that it's Jeff. Also, in this quick little email said, that Senate Health Committee Chairman Vitelli and Senator Cruz Perez both adding their names was significant and should certainly make it easier for you to approach other senators, your colleagues, about supporting this. So anyway, that worked out pretty good.
Who I have up here is I have Cory Booker and Andy Kim, and they always get back to me right away.
Really?
Cory, I know, because he was the mayor of Newark when I was there. The second round I did there at Newark Beth. He's a good guy. He's a nice guy. He really is. And Andy Kim, I don't know him, but he gets back to me really fast and he actually engages. It's not just like one of those, those letters that just come back automatically.
Yeah. Normally I would take that with a grain of salt as well, but because it's you saying it, you've engaged people enough times to know that he, so that's what I like, that it's not just somebody I don't know saying that.
Yeah.
That you're saying it, it seems to go, that goes a long way,
Mm-hmm.
That's smart. I mean, really there shouldn't necessarily be that long of a lag time if you get to things,
Mm-hmm.
So with the standard being it can take forever. I mean, anytime I engage or advise or help somebody write their letters to engage, which is obviously more than a few people, it always starts out to whoever is opening the emails today. Could you at least acknowledge receiving this so I know a reply will be forthcoming? That's exactly what starts it out as, just to get it back. Because, there's really no reason not to. And then if you don't get it back, it can either mean they are that far behind reading them, or they just, I don't feel like it. But, it usually works. And then I'm a lot more comfortable knowing. And then they know that sort of starts the clock anyway. And then they do get to read the rest of it and decide how to proceed with it. So, just got to think kind of like, that's why when I did more interacting with legislators in decades past, I would always ask them for hints, people that are receptive or in fact supportive of medical cannabis stuff, what works and a little trying to get inside information. And, where I was corrected in my assumption that getting several hundred sign-on letters, from one source, how does that stack up against individuals coming from different directions, like actual opinions? And I was thinking like, well, that's just people really quick signing on, people that actually have to write their own emails. Yes, that's what counts. No, Jenny, I was surprised. He goes, oh, no, we take that real serious. And it made sudden sense. He goes, that shows organization. Somebody that at least organizes to that effect. So, but I learned by asking them, Otherwise I'm just getting other people's opinions. And I'm smart enough to know that there's always some doors that we haven't seen through and we don't know why. Specifically, why did Joe Vitelli not co-sponsor a bill that he wanted heard in his committee, 1393, 342 before that, and 3420 before that, that he wanted it posted for hearing, but of course, Senate President wouldn't let him, starting with Sweeney and then continuing with Scutari. So why last week? Now, I think it probably was certainly stirred up by the Coalition for Home Grow and Andrea staying on top of it. It wasn't like he had a time period where something of at an organizational level was in constant contact with him. On the other hand, that it came with Senator Cruz Perez. They kind of did it virtually together, and she's kind of like leadership. I don't know if it's official leadership, but to me, it's clear as could be. It's what would be considered the dog whistle effect, saying to other senators, "It's okay to co-sponsor now. You don't have to worry about pissing Scutari." I'm assuming that greases the skids when Joe Vitelli, who really doesn't want to do something against the Senate president, when he co-sponsored it, so anyway, I'm kind of hoping to, maybe we can get another Zoom meeting with him to discuss things. And
who's Sweeney?
No, Vitelli.
I can't say that last name like that.
Vitelli.
It's Vital.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's like what everybody else says, and I don't have to explain it to a lot of people that I know that, But it's also like when I'm watching the Phillies, they talk Castellanos, Castellanos, CASTILLA. It's Castellanos. You don't have to go Castellanos. It's Castellanos, and I'm sure he doesn't call himself Castellanos. Casty, CASTY, Castellano. No, it's not that. So okay, Vital. But he's
Vital.
He's pretty.
Say Vital.
Vital.
That's the correct.
I thought it was Vitali.
Vital. No, it's Vital.
Not Vitali.
It's Vital.
Yeah.
Vitali. There's an E on the end.
That doesn't matter.
Nah, it's Italian.
We dropped the E's.
I had a conversation with Congressman Souders, chief of staff, when in DC when they weren't in session. So just like 3-4 people and his chief of staff, and I come in to talk about stuff. But every time I called him, I'd say your boss, Congressman Souder, Souter, whatever it was, I was saying it wrong. Now I'm getting confused. And I would always say whatever, and then I do it on purpose every time I did it. and he would do that, every time. Then that guy had the balls to well, we're this close, look down like that while I was talking to him. There's 3 people around hanging out. He looks at the floor while I'm talking to him, and without missing a beat. No, we're standing face to face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when he does that, I bent down, looking up at him, talking like that, and I slowly got up, and his head came with me, and I said, I lost my train of thought, and I was talking to him. I remember saying, "Hey, you have to grow thicker skin than that if you're going to be his chief staff," So anyway.
Okay, how do you say my last name?
What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, guys? Waiting for the rest of them to come, but
Saved by the bell.
Yeah, we have a couple of people that we wanted to get on here. We wanted to get Christo on before 5:30 to talk about the VASPA order that he defeated the VASPA order, apparently.
He did. I hope he gets on here to talk more about it. But for the people that don't know that are watching, Sonia said some crazy things in a report, and she lied, and that's the reason he beat it. Not only that, he did nothing wrong. So,
Yeah.
You're South Jersey news?
South Jersey news, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any North Jersey news people?
I mean, I'm from North Jersey. I just just so happen to call myself South Jersey news. I'm from Edison, Highland Park area.
That's
and
not
now
North
I live
Jersey.
and now Central, right? Yeah. But it's north to me because
you're closer. You're closer.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I know what Sue's talking about. She's way up north, and see.
So Highland Park, Edison is South Jersey.
Huh? I'm at the end of Hackensack, I don't know, 5 minutes from the GW.
Okay, yeah. So you're up there, but maybe not so bad because in Edison you could get there in 35 minutes, right?
Without traffic, yeah.
Yeah, but for me it would take 2 hours to get to the GW. You know what I mean?
Hackensack, that's North Jersey.
Oh yeah. How is North Jersey?
North Jersey. In other words, to me,
North Jersey. No, that's the other way from me. That is.
I grew up. I grew up between Plainfield, moved to Tonsor a long time ago, and there was only North and South Jersey then. There wasn't Central Jersey, and it was divided by the bridge.
Mason-Dixon
above the bridge. That if you moved from above the bridge down, or even from Plainfield down, they're like, "Oh, you're from the city." No, I'm from Plainfield. Yeah, the city. And I thought there was one city everybody was from when I came here, and it was just the way it was. So now, Central Jersey's got its spot.
That Route 9 Garden State Parkway Bridge, that big one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the border in my eyes too. But
okay. Way outnumbered.
That's that Mason-Dixon line. It is.
Mason-Dixon, yep.
Benny drives 2 hours to go to Edison council meetings and Dover council meetings.
I do. I've gone to Union City as well.
Mm-hmm.
There was actually just recently an incident where security got in my face, and I filed a report, and then I come to find out I got harassment charges against me now. So
in Union City.
So we'll be fighting that.
Union City. Okay.
It's insane.
That is
Dude, yeah.
Wow.
So you have.
You said it so matter of fact, but no, you need a crazy voice for that, because that almost slipped by me. And then I heard the words in line up and said, so
nothing surprises.
You did that, and then you got harassment charges from that.
Yeah, it's Union City. It's
were you there at that meeting, Lefty? I think you were.
Yes, I was. I have it on film as well.
You have it filmed as well, right?
I have you and his interaction. A lot of it, yeah.
So
it's ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'll be with your court
Lefty
case.
was there. Lefty, I might need you as a witness.
Yeah, I'll be there.
It's virtual court. I just posted it in our little group chat that we got. I just got the notice in the mail literally right before I came on here. Yeah.
So you have to go to court in Union City, not county, right?
Municipal court.
Virtual.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to me after this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Are you a lawyer?
Good question. All right. Well,
I'm a legal nurse consultant, but no, I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
But I've worked for lawyers.
Yeah. So the interaction would happen was I never really ask like police officers or security guards for their names. That's just not who I am, unless they do something wrong. So in my case, he was being rude to another patron that was at the meeting. He slammed the door in someone's face. I was like, that was rude.
That's nasty.
I was asking for his name. He was pretending to be on the phone. He walked away from me, and then I followed him asking for his name, and he said his name was Daddy. And I was like, oh. And I said,
Daddy?
He said his name was Daddy.
He's your daddy. Yeah.
And I said, is that what your wife calls you? Is that what your wife calls you?
Yeah, you respond. You responded
in my
kind.
face.
Yeah. You responded in kind to him at that point too.
That was a good response.
He went low.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't going to call him Daddy. So, I mean, I really should have said, is that what your boyfriend calls you? But I thought of something on the fly, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
no, I like what you said. That was good.
So he came like literally inches away from my face, and I have it all on video. I mean, this
so
shouldn't
did you
have
file harassment against him?
I did. So that day, I filed a report, which I thought I was doing a complaint that I could sign. Apparently, I didn't. They just took a report. And then I actually got a text message from a lawyer on Saturday saying I'm being charged with harassment. I went to Union. I drove all the way to Union Township on Sunday just to file the complaint.
Union City or Union Township?
Union City, sorry.
Okay.
So I drove all the way up there on Sunday just to file the actual complaint. So now he's charged with harassment as well.
Okay.
I mean,
it's all going to get thrown out.
I think so. I think even his charge will be thrown out too.
Yeah.
I mean,
they'll all be thrown out.
I only wanted it documented because I didn't want it to go anywhere. I just wanted it documented.
Of course. I would too.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to file any harassment, but after I got charged with harassment, I had no choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
wow, that's crazy though.
Lefty, wasn't it crazy?
Oh man, I'm surprised Lefty isn't responsible for it somehow.
Those meetings are crazy. Those meetings are the craziest meetings. The most non-transparent meetings, the most violent towards Leroy. Leroy's been a victim of violence at those meetings. And there's been just a bunch, the gavel war. There was a gavel war between Bungholio and Mayor Stack. They were banging gavels at each other. It was ridiculous meetings. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Wow.
I didn't see that yet.
Do you guys mind if I show you the interaction?
Oh, no. Please.
No, go ahead.
Let's see here. Share screen. YouTube. All right. Can you see my screen?
No.
Yeah. No.
Okay. I think maybe he might have to approve it.
Boy, you got some big fingers, man.
I was thinking the same thing. Look at that hand.
I don't see how to do it. I'll have to show it here.
You want to show it on your side?
Yeah,
but I was going to smoke some weed. I'll wait to smoke weed, then I'll just go back in and
No. I'll wait. We'll wait. Hey, I can't stop that.
Hold on. Let me see if I can make you a host or something.
Well, yeah.
No,
can you?
It's just asking if it should just be asking for permission, but it might be in your computer in the studio. That's fine.
Can you send it to Lefty and then he can put it up from there anyway? I mean, in other words, never mind showing it directly from where you are. Just email, because Lefty puts up stuff all the time from wherever.
Yeah, I'll put it up. Just send me the link. Send me the YouTube link, and I'll put it up.
Do you want it in?
Let me just take a couple of hits. Take 2 hits off.
No, take your time, Lefty. I can't. This is your time, man. This is your time.
No, but you're as good as a great guest right now too. I mean, party after the fact or during the fact or whatever?
So it's a small clip. It's from minute like 107 to minute 330. Just a small interaction. But
yeah, that'll really set the tone for sure.
I'm just figuring we'd share this before Christo gets on to share his VASPA order. You know, this is a small thing compared to Christo in Edison.
Yeah.
What time is Crystal coming on?
I'm trying to get a hold of him.
Yeah, we have a guest at 5:30. So,
I'm gonna try calling him again.
Okay. Yeah, when I show the video, give him a call. Because he was dying to do a podcast.
Lefty, you have a green aura around you on the screen. Isn't that weird?
Is it a green shirt
You
you're wearing?
see it?
No, it's not, is it? Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. You got a
Be
green
helpful.
aura today.
Be helpful.
Yeah. He lost his green screen inside, so maybe it jumped on him. I don't
Maybe
know.
it followed me.
Maybe.
That's all I got. One time my hair turned green because my parents got me a cheap pup tent that when it rained, it actually leaked through. Yeah, and I had green hair. And it wasn't St. Patrick's Day. But they didn't have money. I mean, maybe they made the tent out of a freaking blanket or something. I don't know. I'd get stuff for Christmas. Like a fat, tired bike that was repainted for Christmas.
Hey, check this out. I asked to march at the St. Patrick's Day parade in Bayonne. And we were turned down because our wheelchairs are going to slow the parade down and create too long of a line of the parade. And the insurance company is going to have a problem with
How
wheelchairs.
fast does this parade go? Was the parade got a starting gun? Ready, set, parade!
I was like, wait.
Can you ask? Can't you?
Yeah, I have it. I recorded the phone call. I knew this was going to be a bullshit phone call, so I recorded the phone call. And sure enough, it was some bullshit that said, "No, you can't march in the parade. Your wheelchairs are going to slow the parade down."
Well, the parade's going to slow all traffic down. Your move. I mean, come on.
No traffic.
So why
can't you just be at the end?
That's I asked. I said, "Put us at the end." They said,
That
"No,
would be
they
great.
wouldn't go for that. They wouldn't go for it."
Yeah,
They said,
because if you're at the end, you can engage with people a lot
They said
easier.
next year we'll get you a bus next year. They said
A bus?
or a car, somewhere to travel, some vehicle. I'm like, no, I have a wheelchair. I want to talk about wheelchair access. Like, what are you people doing?
No, wait a second. They don't allow your wheelchairs where other people walk. Oh, or does everybody drive in a car? Is it a parade of cars? What?
No.
A lazy parade?
No, it's
a
people.
parade. Marching.
There was
right?
handicapped people in this parade before.
Yeah, but were they keeping up? Were they in wheelchairs?
I saw people in wheelchairs, and I marched in my wheelchair one year, and I was allowed to.
I'll bet depending on where the parade is, you could probably go alongside it at the same speed on freaking sidewalk with your,
Total discrimination. She said there's 15 reasons, but she only told me the wheelchair reason. She didn't tell me any of the other 14 reasons.
Well, if he's gonna blame it on insurance, you need to be able to confer with his insurance company to verify that. That's just a statement of convenience, probably. But like stuff like when I was a cab driver, yeah, I did, but I wasn't allowed to help somebody downstairs to touch anybody, and that was insurance regulations for the cab company. That made some degree of sense, though. And then I would help anyway, obviously help anyway. Yeah, that kind of makes me a little on the side here, and that it's not fair. I mean, you're not asking for any special treatment. Just let us roll.
Well, sometimes at the end of parades, like kids just follow the parade.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Why can't you do that?
When Cheryl and me were in
You're allowed.
Philadelphia, and I lost where I parked because I forgot what parking garage it was, and we were at a class action lawsuit in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a 4-block, actually 16 blocks, but a 4-street grid I knew it was in, and there's a parade going down the road.
So you guys marched.
Would have been, yeah. So we got in at the end. It was a gay pride parade, which was more fun than a regular parade.
Right.
And we kept up with him, and I was pushing the wheelchair, and people were scratching their heads at us trying to figure out, But it was just quicker because there was no way to get the wheelchair down the sidewalk where it was in Philly because sidewalks just aren't all that big. So yeah, I've marched in a
I would
parade
just
before.
go to the end of the parade.
That's you, Vin. You got the control now, I think.
All right, I'll take it from here. So it's minute 107 to 3:30. It's just a small click, a small thing here. So you guys
You
ready?
make it full screen?
Can I make it full screen?
Yeah, on YouTube. Just hit that bottom corner.
Oh yeah. I'll hit full screen. Yep. And let me know if you guys can hear it.
Just lock the door.
Yep.
It's your job. Open it. I'm sorry? It's your job. We'll open it. All right. Here we go. Yeah, let me get through there. Thank you. A what?
Before he slams the door on the guy,
Watch yourself. Oh.
he says, "Watch yourself," as the guys,
Wow, that was rude.
while the door's
Pretty rude.
slamming on him.
What a dick.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Pretty rude. He told you to watch out as the door was hitting you.
Did Jay, is working today here?
He's not working tonight, no.
I didn't know. How can I make contact with the 25th attorney to come and talk to him?
So just respond to the police desk and ask for his availability and they'll let you know, okay?
Okay.
All right, take care.
Take
Good
care.
night.
Be safe out here.
Thank you.
Here we go, guys. Follow me. I'm gonna ask you to please move so I can get through here. Would you mind? Excuse me.
I'm gonna walk through the other door.
Put it back there.
Yourself.
Fantastic.
That's how you talk to people. You have no symbol.
What's your name?
You know, cow.
What's your name, boss?
Yeah, I'll be home at 7. I mean,
He's
no, 9.
on the phone. Won't tell me his name.
Don't talk about that
Jeez.
petty, man. I'm all with that petty shit. Oh, you too late, man.
And there's Lefty right there.
Damn, you came over late. Huh? Yeah, I told, but you know what I'm saying?
What was your name? What was your name?
Daddy.
Daddy?
Uh-huh.
Is that what your wife calls you?
I'm sorry.
That's what
Be very careful, my friend.
You see how close he gets?
Be
Yeah.
very careful. You hold
Whoa.
to your
Right
I
there.
gotta back
He's
up.
like right on my camera. You see that?
Yeah, that's called looming,
And I'm charged with harassment.
camera. And enjoy
That
that.
was You see that? I asked him for his name. He's very rude. And he got in my face like that. You see that, officer? I actually feel threatened. Just so you know, I actually do feel threatened.
So that's the incident.
Oh,
I'm
man.
being charged with harassment
Well,
from that.
How do I know you say, well, yeah, they're both going to get thrown out or whatever. I wouldn't be so sure. I mean, I understand, yeah, it's kind of the easiest thing and it all goes away. But even who makes that decision, seeing that is like, you won't have to say, look how close he is to anybody seeing that. I mean, I'm glad you're stamping it for us, but if somebody watches that without any description.
Right.
And especially what he said, be very careful with that.
Right.
That's what
Yeah,
Tony,
that was kind of like really obnoxious.
well, but in The Sopranos, when Tony Soprano got too close to Dr. Melfi, she says, "You're looming," and I thought, oh, that's a great word. It probably is actually a legal description.
You're in my space. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're totally invading space, not by a little,
Right.
by a lot. Basically,
It's assault.
if you went to bend over, you would have bumped heads about there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
If he would have touched you, that's battery, but it's assault. Just coming up on you, even in a threatening manner.
Yeah, that's threatening.
assault.
I mean, did I really feel threatened? Yeah, a little bit. I wasn't
I
definitely.
was fearing
intimidated,
for your
sure.
life.
No, that doesn't matter. No, it's all
Yeah.
about the perception
for
of
your life.
it's exactly. It's the perception
Mhm.
that you were, not whether or not you were. The world works
How
on
you perceived it
perception. People
Right.
get elected on
on
perception.
perception.
Yeah. So like everything about that without you even saying anything, but then to add that, yeah. Look, I went in when I was at a Brick Township council meeting, and I went out to smoke in the parking lot where I'm allowed a patient. And there was somebody in the parking lot in the dark of the lot that yelled, "I ought to fucking shoot you," because there's no other cigarette smokers, and it was like lit up, and it's from the dark of the lot. So I went back in and told one of the 4 cops that were standing outside the thing there, I feel threatened. I've been threatened, and I feel threatened. I'm in pain. I'm a legal patient. I'm going to use my medicine. I want you to come escort me and stand there while I do.
Right.
And he came right out. And then now I'm getting high across the way from a guy watching me, and he's a cop, and I was getting pretty high. And I'm like, oh, this is so freaking surreal. Ordering him, you come watch me do this, and yes, sir. What the hell?
Insane. The craziest thing is there was an officer in the room, right? And he claims he didn't see anything. How's that possible?
Of course he didn't.
You
He
see,
didn't see it.
Hogan's Heroes. I know
You know what they
nothing.
call
I see nothing.
Mikey saw it. Mikey saw what happened. Lefty saw what happened.
Yeah, I also watched the cops see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Lefty has video of that though too, right?
I believe he does. I know Christo does.
Yeah,
And then Mikey, I might need you as a witness.
Oh, I got you all day on a witness. I mean, that's the thing. When you have 5 cameras rolling, somebody captures something. That's one of the best things about when we all go to a meeting and there's a bunch of cameras. Yeah. When you watch these videos back, you see their colleagues' reactions, their responses, whether it's a council meeting and whatever it may be. But there's too many cameras for the information to not be caught.
Yep. Yeah, that's really
Lefty. Before you go, you want to give me back access? Maybe we can talk about Christos Vaspa without him. I don't know.
Yeah, I was I called him. I don't know what he's doing.
I tried calling him a bunch of times, and I know you have a guest in 15 minutes.
Well, I think that'd be great. I mean, I'd like to hear about it. Yeah.
So I'm gonna just hit
from your view, and if he gets on, he'll take over. Awesome.
Yeah, last week was a very pivotal week for all the stuff with Edison.
All right. I guess before we move, I don't know, everybody that's watching, this is Mikey's channel. This is Social Justice Water Pipe. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Because Mikey is the freaking man.
I didn't.
Yeah, I gotta put some more videos on there.
All right. So all right, I'll go to my channel real fast and I'll play.
So Mikey and I testified at Christo's Vaspa hearing, and it was just a big lie, everything that was said, and I think it was proven to the judge. And plus, she lied about disability access as well. The BA lied about that. So there's a pattern here.
Yeah, there is. A big pattern.
With her husband.
All right, Mikey, you wanna narrate this because you were there. I actually wasn't there. I wish I was.
Yeah, I'll narrate it. Before we get into that, I just want to mention her. Jessie from down south. She just reached out to me, telling me that her friend Kathleen, who's her best friend, she just found out she has stage 4 cancer, and they're giving her not to be a depression here, but I know I'm in the right. This is the right time, place, and manner to mention these things, especially to you guys. But they're giving her 6 to 12 months to live. So Jessie's freaking out because that's her best friend and stuff like that. And she needs.
You know what kind of cancer?
She just told me about 10 minutes ago. I told her I was going on the podcast, and I was like, "Well, I'm going to mention it." I said, "Let me see if I can get RSO," and she said that heavy oils aren't the best for her, but she needs like edibles, butter, tincture or whatever. So I just wanted to throw that out there, make you guys aware of that. There's never a good time in someone's life to get thrown a curveball like that.
No.
Often though, because of all the, the new trials that they're doing and all, people get told they have 6 to 12 months and then they live for another, like another 5 years. So there's a lot going, just to be supportive, you might want to share that information. And if she's being treated, tell her to look for a Sloan facility, okay? Because they're the ones that have the best. So Sloan Kettering, and there's a variety of them in Jersey.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to mention it to all you guys, because I know that you guys are able to help.
There's a
and
cancer
care
institute,
more than
right?
most people.
St. Barnabas has a cancer institute from Sloan, okay, in Livingston. So
I'll let her know.
I want to let her know that.
I will.
Well, I'll be praying over here on this side.
Yeah, prayers sent. Prayers and positive vibes sent.
That's it, brother. All right.
Yeah.
So you want to? I guess I'll play this and then you'll narrate a little bit.
Sure.
All right. Here we go.
Because that is really important. They are one of the best teams out there.
Who is that? Who are those pictures being taken of?
Okay, right there where she's saying harassment. That's Sonia, the BA, right?
Yes.
After she threatened Christo, which you have on this video.
Right, it's right here. You ready? Ready for it?
Yeah, play that.
I was going to go around, but you don't have to be a bitch about it.
Would you like my husband to come here and talk to you? Because we can do that too.
Okay, threaten me for the whole world to see. Thank you. Yeah, she's using fighting words, threatening me with her husband. You're right.
Every step of, I know what you did to Christo. I'm well aware. And if it wasn't for people coming out.
So that was pretty much the interaction that.
Now this is important. This is important to know. Right after that happened, Christo went and filed a complaint on her. Right? He filed a complaint on her for doing that. In that process of him filing the complaint to the police, she winds up texting for about 10 minutes. I don't know who she was texting or what they were coordinating, but then she went in the back with police to then make her report, which wound up being this protective order. This protective order wasn't created out of, she wasn't in fear of anything. Right after it happened, I said, okay, well, let me focus my camera on her, because right now she's not in self-control. I put my camera toward her. She takes a picture of me and says harassment. Takes a picture of Christo and says harassment. I've never once, all the meetings I've been at Edison, I've never addressed her. I've never spoken to her ever. I've never even addressed her during my public time. And she tried to put me in a framework of harassment. So there's an example of what they were able to do to Christo. Because if they could have got me for something, they would have. If you've noticed, these retaliatory tactics have been the way that they have been dealing with the fact that we exposed their unconstitutional decorum. And they were using the terminology of chronic chaotic disturbances. That was on the national media, referring to us at the meetings. Now, Joe Coyle had cut me off for the 3rd time in a row. If you have 1 time, you have an incident. 2 times it shows a repeat in behavioral pattern, and 3 times constitutes as chronic chaotic disturbances. So now they are the ones creating chronic chaotic disturbances, and the new term that they're using is public safety concerns. That's a triggering term that responds government to act on such allegations. The safety concerns is why they shut the meeting, the ADA access down on December 9th and 11th. I'm
glad you brought that up the last meeting, because
but you see what they're doing.
Yeah, Brescher exposed the hell out of that.
Yeah, and the BA originally said, when questioned about this access, she originally said, we have a survey that was conducted and we'll be providing you with that paperwork. The survey was not conducted. She lied, just like she lied about Christo. She's a liar. And then what they had to do was backtrack and have the law firm create, after the fact, some sort of legal footing saying that that building was ADA accessible. That was ADA accessible because it was grandfathered in. Now, let's not forget that the term grandfathered in, grandfather's the one who can't get in.
No, I want you to know this. Brescher made a good point. That building was made before the ADA was even established.
That's how they get away with saying it was grandfathered in.
Right. So their ADA compliance is only downstairs. It is not that ramp.
Right. But she got caught in a lie by saying that a survey was conducted and that they would provide the paperwork. The thing is that Richard Brescher is not only a good public service, he's not only good for public service, but he's a good man. You could be a good politician, but it doesn't mean you're good at public service. You have to be a good person to be good at public service. So Richard Brescher asks questions. When he sees an issue, he shines light on it. He's the only one talking about the issues that need correcting. That's somebody who's good for public service. So Richard Brescher kept on this issue, and then they finally had to tell him, well, the building was built before, ADA law, so therefore it's grandfathered in. That while they removed the access and the elevators were working, let's not forget.
Yeah, and they lied to us that day. Lefty, you were there. They lied to us and said the elevators weren't working. And that day I did go on the elevator to go down. So they were working.
And Brescher even mentioned on the record how there was somebody using the elevator.
Yep.
So they lie. They continue to lie. They get caught in their lies, and almost nothing happens.
I'm gonna play it all the way through for just this incident here.
Thank God Christo had witnesses at that VASPA hearing.
Absolutely.
Free speech. This is a alleged story.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Round, but you don't have to be a bitch about it.
Would you like my husband to come here and talk to you? Because we can do that too.
Okay, threaten me for the whole world to see. Thank you. The second time the BA threatened me. Fuck your husband. Fuck him. Okay, and I'll be waiting for him.
Fighting words, now enforce it.
Yeah, she's using fighting words, threatening me with her husband. Every step of the way.
So that was pretty much it. There.
Wow.
And then how much time we got? We got 5 minutes. Do you want to show them the last video I put up? Where this one right here, Mikey?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me find that part. So Mikey comes up to the podium, and this is the meeting you should have been at, because this is where I think Brescher says something about the ADA.
Yeah, because I asked Brescher to throw him the bone and then talk about these things.
I have no problem with you calling me up. We all, my name's Mikey. I haven't come to this meeting yet. I haven't given my real name because I don't feel like the council has put themselves into a position where I'm comfortable giving that courtesy. I don't mind in the future that you call me up as Mikey. We all know that's my name. But for the record, I'm not giving my name. And just a couple of things. I spoke to Councilman Coyle out in the hallway. I told you the last 2 times you interrupted me when I'm speaking. He assured me he's never going to do it again. So we have that.
Did he do it again?
Under control. Also, when I'm speaking, if nobody, I don't want anyone speaking amongst each other. Just to show me that respect. I sit here and I don't speak. So I just want none of you to be speaking amongst each other while I'm speaking. Just show me that respect. Do whatever you want. When the other speakers are speaking, that's up to them to call you out for it. But I don't want you to at least speak when I'm speaking. I just want full divided attention. And I appreciate that. Spoke to the captain before the meeting, very nice guy. Told him about Simmons versus United States, constitutional Supreme Court law that the ruling was it's intolerable to surrender one constitutional right to assert another one. That's a Fourth Amendment violation. I brought this up in meeting after meeting. Last meeting I was here, Lieutenant Kenny, spoke to him about it, and he said, "Oh yeah, I know that law," which I don't see how we could because I just found out about it. Even lawyers, they have to, find case law that applies to whatever case is pertaining to the, but to acknowledge a constitutional Supreme Court law and then just willfully just overlook it is sort of ridiculous. Both times that Councilman Coyle cut me off, I was referring to the flag ban or the prop ban, referred to as the flag ban. And
Not a flag ban. Don't cut me off! Don't cut me off. This is what I'm talking about. Order. Councilman Coyle, you are out of order.
Yo, the gavel is amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody in the
gavel.
room bugged out when they saw that gavel.
Tell him why you made that gavel.
That was my artistic symbol. I made that. That was my artistic symbol to say, I got you. I caught you. Chronically, chaotically disturbing the meeting with multiple violations, goes against the Constitution, the Sunshine Act, the Open Public Meeting Act. This guy continues to violate rights. And that gavel was to intensify the situation, to correct it.
Did the gavel more? Is there more to the gaveling? You know?
Oh, well, maybe there's a little bit more, but I don't think so. But here, we'll play the rest.
Yeah.
You're out of order. Stop the clock. This is what I'm talking about. The third time.
Councilman Coyle, I'm sorry.
Third time.
Councilman Coyle, you're out of order.
Have respect, Councilman Coyle. Look at him.
He's making false
Like a
statements.
child.
It was not
Like a child.
It was not a ban. Councilman
Oh, that is hilarious.
So Councilman Harris, who's the council president, is asking, if you don't stop, we're going to have to ask you to leave. And Coyle's like, you can't tell me to leave. I'm a councilman.
And then he winds up saying, I'm going to do it every time. So once he said, I'm going to do it every time, he showed a premeditation to continue to violate my rights. So I went on Wednesday and handed them in a tort claim that broke it all down over these terminologies that are being used and how they now cite public safety concerns. So he ends up saying, protect the people, protect the agitators who incite violence.
Right.
So he's now slandering and defaming my character, putting me into a context that gives government an ability to act on such allegations. All of it was broken down in the tort claim, and then the very next day, Christo beat the VASPA charges, and then the Edison Porter wrote a fantastic article about the tort claim, breaking it all down. And people have been contacting me, telling me how Councilman Coyle has been a bully ever since the days they went to school with him.
Yep. Let me play this next part real fast.
Councilman Coyle, did you want to say something?
Councilman, I just want to clarify the statements that the speaker made are false. Yes, we had a situation with a flag. The ordinance that this council voted on was an ordinance on props. If the speaker can ever find the ordinance and look at it and bring to my attention or anybody here, or highlight where it says that this council banned the flag, I'd love to see it. So he's making false statements, and he's here to just proclaim on an old topic, and he's being an agitator, which is wrong for this council, and he should.
Residents fighting back.
Here's the evidence.
Back after the City Council of Edison, New Jersey, banned the American flag, the Constitution, and other props from town meetings.
I'm holding up an American flag to represent the Constitution and values that we.
There's Lefty. I love your reaction there. You're on Fox News, Lefty. It was great.
Yeah, I took a picture of that from Lefty's angle and put it in the tort claim as a photographic reminder of the flag ban.
We'll watch the rest of this interaction. You can see we'll see together that he was actually removed for holding the flag, and then we'll stop it there because I know we're out of time. So.
I'm going to give you a warning, and if you continue, I will have to forfeit. You'll have to forfeit your time. This time is forfeit.
And it violates the law. Your time should be forfeited. Your position should be forfeited. By your actions, you forfeit every right to preside over this meeting.
Please have it in the room. That's not okay. Room.
Shame on you.
So he's removed for holding the flag. So they say he wasn't, but guess what? He was. Evidence is there. Is right.
Man, that's a good body of work when you add it all up, you know?
Very much so, and that's why last week was very pivotal within Edison and the efforts. Next meeting on Monday, Christo is allowed back. Part of the VASPA order was he was not allowed to go to the police station or the town hall building. Both buildings, public buildings, he was barred from.
And let's bring some context as to why they banned the flag. Actually, we all know this wasn't to ban the flag.
Right.
It wasn't about props. It was about silencing Christo and silencing his friends like Lefty that supported him and Mikey that supported him. And I want to say I thank you guys so much for coming to come support him, because Christo has been shit on for years, and I got sick of it to a point where I was like, screw it, I'm driving 2 hours, I'm coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We all became part of the correction, the solution.
Yeah.
You know, we are not the problem. We are the solution.
Absolutely.
He was bullied.
You're like a Department of Corrections.
He was being bullied. They were taking advantage of his vulnerability. He didn't have anyone to back him up. They removed him one time for having a sign. You guys remember just recently how all the people in Congress, they had their paddle signs?
Yep.
Crystal was removed for a sign. You know, it wasn't just the mask. They were removing him for countless things.
It literally insane. But yeah. We weren't able to get a hold of Christo. It is what it is. And I know you have a guest coming on right now, right?
We tried. She's not on yet, so we tried. We tried. I was hoping to get him on here because I want to hear his how happy he is and how happy he must be to be able to go back to the council meetings again after like
Lefty,
3 weeks.
You got to tell me you're coming on Monday, right?
I'll be there on Monday.
Hell yeah, I'll be there on Monday as well, brother. And I have some stuff planned. I'm sure you do as well. A couple things.
And it's important to note, I was told from a very credible source that after Monday's occurrence between me and Councilman Coyle, that he was told he was not allowed to come to the meeting on Wednesday because he had compromised the entire situation. So he was asked to go to the Middlesex County Democratic Organization as opposed to going to the council meeting.
Wow.
And then Margot Harris told me he had some family stuff to do. So they're not even coordinating. They're not even
Can you guys hear me?
They're very sloppy on their end because they should at least cross-reference so they say the same things.
Yeah, really. You got to get the story straight. I mean, if they're going to fabricate it, it pays.
If you're going to fabricate it, everyone will be on the same page, but they're not even that organized.
It's like a Seinfeld thing. Importing or importing, exporting, you know. It's
Lefty.
As if we're not doing our research.
Linda's trying to get on, and it keeps requesting her credit card to continue.
What?
No.
It did that to me. You know what? And I let it go because.
No, she doesn't need the app. She doesn't need to go on the app. Just go on the.
Yeah, just do it through Chrome.
Yeah, you don't need it. Yeah, go through Chrome or the other one, Firefox.
Go through Chrome, tell her.
Yeah.
Well, how does she do that?
Here we go. Oh no, that's Vinny.
Yeah, it would be if you just paste the link that you have. You know, I don't know.
Put it on Chrome.
Well,
Chrome, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I do through.
And paste the link.
Am I on Chrome?
Did you guys hear that I said that Councilman Coyle was at a DNC?
I didn't know.
Thing?
Yeah, he had to go to the.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. But remember, if you remember, Vinny, Margot told me he had family thing to attend to. Remember, before we went in the meeting?
Yeah, before the meeting.
So I was just pointing out how they're not even cross-referencing their lies.
That is just crazy.
Sloppy.
Maybe that's because they don't normally lie. I just had to try
What's that?
Well, you know what it is? You want to know what it is? They haven't normally been getting caught. Now they're getting caught.
Or they haven't really been challenged enough to get caught. It's not like they were defending their lies. They just never got challenged, so they never felt the need to coordinate. It didn't seem that important, you know.
Correct.
It won't matter. It won't matter, and by itself, it won't. But like I said before, it's like a body of work, not just one event, you know. So when you put it all together, it means a lot more than that moment, you know, where they thought it wouldn't matter. It does.
Right.
So there's a lot of things going crazy in the council meetings. Mikey, you want to explain what's going on in Englishtown?
In terms of what?
How the Englishtown mayor appointed a convicted murderer and hit mobster that spent years in prison, and now is a snitch for some organization.
No, he's not a snitch. He did his time, and he's trying to turn his life around. I think he gave his life to God, and I believe he's on a mission right now to do what's right, because he had a change of heart, I believe, in prison. He did 15 years in prison, I believe.
15
Yeah,
years.
I will say I support Mayor Dan in Englishtown and his efforts.
Yeah, we love Mayor Dan.
And I support John A. Light in his political profession that he's found himself in now.
I just can't believe that they got a convicted murderer up there as a council member.
What's worse, a convicted murderer or a career politician?
I guess there's none.
I like when people shake up things in government. I like it.
Yeah, who's
I
going to argue
can't
with
help
him?
but be a fan, regardless of how that outcome became. In general, I appreciate shaking up the status quo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he supports disability rights as well,
a lot of
and
things
medical
going on.
cannabis. And he's actually going to be on the podcast soon. Him and
Well, I know he supported everything that was going on in Edison. So he actually was at the meeting in Edison when they banned the flag. He wasn't for it. I know that
Yeah.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big libertarian, like Mikey told me before. A big libertarian, and he supports our rights, our constitutional rights, and our God-given rights.
Yep. Now he has some views that other people would think are pretty drastic. Like he's not a drug user, but believes all drugs should be legal. He's one of those big problems need big solutions kind of guy. And I support those efforts. Big problems do need big solutions. Now it's left for debate whether or not people within town agree with it or don't agree with it. That's to be determined. A lot of people are making comments and are supporting both sides.
Yeah, so that Englishtown's really going to get their act together now. I'll tell you what, he's going to keep everyone in line. Because no one's going to argue with him. You're going to say no to him? No, you ain't saying no to him.
Well, I assume there's going to be some more successful outcomes in the future here. Just seeing the path that it's on, but I jump ahead. I can't help it to think that the body of work itself grows. There's going to be a time when somebody's going to need your help and say, something's going on, and you'll end up stopping by there. And I want to be around for that first time you all show up, and that starts to straighten things out right then. It eventually will happen. It's, oh no, they're here. They're here. Oh, because you've been an unknown quantity that people have to adjust to. But I see the method to your madness real quick. And the thing is, now you're sort of beyond a lot of that, where you start getting results, and people who would think of you more like a circus act or something are like, get out. Yeah. And I like to see when that happens to people, because you definitely do that. You're seeing all this. I mean,
Yeah.
And I want to, and if you don't want to be, I told you so, when I stuck up for you briefly, I want to be able to say, I told you so you don't have to say, yeah, because it was the one good thing about Facebook, especially if you take screenshots. But even if you don't, you can back up what you say you said. You can offer your own screen. Well, here, look, I said that down. Here's what you said. So, it's kind of like in a situation where people are fast and loose with the truth, just making statements of convenience. I think, I don't want to talk about national level, but I think that shit rolls downhill. And when shit gets done at the national level, just by going, no, I didn't. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. No matter what the truth is, and flinging so much shit that it's not whether or not something sticks to the wall. It's that it's too much to really assimilate, because it's so easier to throw out one lie than to prove it's a lie, even when there is proof. So the more you lie, the more people are busy trying to prove it, and shit starts slipping through. But
I'm personally proud of any efforts that I've had within any town that I've entered, and there's been results. The results don't shock me anymore. It's just part of the process.
Yeah. No, I can relate, not on a parallel course, not even parallel, maybe not even on the same plane, but I don't want to know what, but how do you know where the edge of the envelope is unless sometimes you go over the edge? And I know that I've said or done some things that I wish I could have brought back a little bit.
Well,
I don't want
Jim, that barrier, that line is different for everybody, but it's different for, like, this is what I always say. You are only as free in this country of knowing what your limitations of what you can and can't do.
So freedom, about reacting, like if you say something or do something and somebody reacts like more adversely than you would have thought for some reason,
there's some things I got away with in Edison that if I went into a town and did it for the very first time, they would have never allowed it.
That's where I learned where the edge of the
I had a whole song where the punchline was, all of you are sucking the mayor's, Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. Well, I like knowing that when I have, and I'm not talking about apologies due or anything like that. I mean, it's a learning thing for me. I wish I hadn't, and it, I don't see anything. I don't see everything I'm aware of that you've done. I've always been like thinking that's the kind of stuff that will get results. You're within your bounds. It's proportionate responses you offer, and then the ways that you open doors. Bongholio opened doors. Bongholio going through a metal detector. I mean, like all that. But then it gets lost on some people, I think, that no, you're getting results every step of the way.
Speaking of the metal detector, it's not totally clear from the video that we just watched, but when I'm talking about the Fourth Amendment violation that I keep bringing up at every meeting, I'm referring to the security metal detector checkpoint that they make you go through. It's my belief that if you're coming to a meeting to express your First Amendment right, you shouldn't have to start trading constitutional rights at the doorway. It's not a court.
You guys want to watch
so I'm not willing to allow you to violate my Fourth Amendment right just so I can assert my First Amendment right. And I've made this argument time after time. They don't want to hear it. There's been some issues that were corrected, not because they wanted to, but they were forced to. But there is still other issues that I see as problems. But it's this citing public safety concerns. Because people come and they're critics of the government. They say that they don't feel safe. If they don't want to sign up for that job, don't sign up for it. But you have to take what comes along with it. People are going to come out and they're going to be critical of what you're doing, your performance as mayor or council president or on the council. I mean, these are the basic fundamental rights, and these are our rights. So as you watch these towns try to take them away in such a coordinated effort, it doesn't just become governmental waste. It becomes criminal in nature. To conspire to create scenarios and an atmosphere to try to pursue criminal charges, whether they're through criminal charges or VASPA protection orders. These things these things are ridiculous that we're confronting on the daily,
And it's not just them too. I mean, it goes on. It's systemic for sure, but it's because it works until somebody presses the issue like this, And then
here, Vinny. Press play on that. This is a video of me going through this is the last time I brought this issue up.
You guys aware of Simmons versus United States?
This is what they tell us to do, man.
But are you aware of it at all?
I'm not aware of that.
It says that the Chief Justice Court of Opinion is that it's intolerable for one constitutional right to be surrendered to assert another one. So to me, this is not. This is an unreasonable Fourth Amendment search. Okay. I'm just letting you guys know.
Your First Amendment right to free speech, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to trade my Fourth Amendment right to exercise my first.
So I explained to these officers, and they're usually different ones that are manning the security checkpoint, but I let them know that the laws that I'm citing, I'm giving you guys legal case law that protects my right to be able to do this. If the Supreme Court has already decided And it's kind of, this is easy to figure out. You have constitutional rights. You can't take them away ever. And you certainly can't do it under the basis of trying to assert another one. This is second grade stuff. This is like, if you paid attention in social studies in second grade, you're on it, you know, but they're all caught between their employment and their ranking and the administration of the township, which is led by the mayor, who's also the head of public safety. So we have problems here.
So I just want you guys to know that I'm going in here because otherwise you're not going to allow me to go in here. I believe it's unreasonable, so I'll bring it up to them again. Yep. But at least you guys are nice about it. Yeah, of course. Last time I told Lieutenant Kenny about it, he said he was aware of the Supreme Court case. I just figured you can't be aware of every Supreme Court case. Lawyers aren't aware. Certainly can't be. You know, that's not how it works. But he said he was aware of it, which is even weird. He knows it, and he's still saying you can't come in.
What is it? So I heard it.
Simmons versus United States. Okay. And the plain rule in that case is that it's exactly that. It's intolerable to surrender one constitutional right to serve another. I'm coming here to express my freedom of speech with First Amendment.
Right, that's what I was saying.
And that's a reasonable search. I don't come here with that. It's a council meeting. This isn't court. You know what I mean? Simmons, Simmons.
Now, see, this is important. What's happening right here? This is very, very, very important. This officer actually cares enough to look into what I'm saying. He wants to know, as an officer, what I'm actually talking about, right? This issue never would have taken place back in April when I went there for the first time, citing any of these issues. Nobody, people overwrite someone like myself all day, you know? But after a while, they start coming around. A lot of these officers have come around, and whether or not they agree with what we're saying, they're starting to treat at least me with respect.
I wanted you to take a look at that picture. I know you probably, that where it was stopped was so, yeah. Look at the look on his face. And the other guy, I mean, in other words, the look on his
progress.
face.
That's what progress looks like.
That's exactly what I'm saying. The picture describes is validation. When you look, I mean, he's like learning something. That's the look of somebody receiving information, you know, that wants the information.
It took a lot of wins. It took a lot of wins to get to this position. But this is how government is supposed to function. And we, the people, hold the ultimate indefinite power. So what you're looking at is how it's supposed to be across the board. But we live in an era where we have to sue for our rights. You know, they're like muscles. Yeah. You know, if you don't use them, they become useless.
There was also a good interaction with the what is it? There was a good interaction with the chief or something.
Oh, the captain.
Captain.
Yeah, very nice guy.
I love this.
Very nice guy. He understood what I was saying.
It's like Charlie Chaplin inside a big.
Can you zoom that, Lefty? Is there a way to zoom that? There we go. You getting one? The bong's getting waved down.
And they're laughing. They're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Both of them are cracking up.
We got to bring the bong back to Edison, man.
And that's the day that they made Lefty take his mask off. You know, because you got to remove whatever clothing they deem inappropriate. You got to take it off. So I'm naked underneath that bong. I'm naked. So if he asked me to take that off, he would have been asking me to take my clothing off, right? While Joe Coyle is filming, because Joe Coyle films us when we get up there. And the only thing you're missing is baby oil, because that's some P. Diddy shit right there. See, there you go. Naked under the bong.
Oh, that was great.
I can't unsee that, unfortunately, though.
They've never understood what they've been up against. I warned them back in April. I said, be very careful about members of the public. I am you, you are me. We're all the same. We all have American values.
Yeah, but
I warned them. We all warned them. We warned them about all this.
Okay, so and Lefty, then they made him take. No, he made them make him take his mask off so it could reveal what he had taped on his forehead. You know, that along with what you were just doing. I mean, you know, it was just like genius. You know, okay.
The best day ever.
You know, I mean, you know they're going to do it. and they do, but
You know, it's funny that that night was the first night that Nish Patel came up to me in the parking lot. Never ever said nothing to me before, but at that point he felt compelled to go over, and he said, I just want to tell you, you're like one of the best activists I've ever met. And I said, well, you haven't seen nothing yet, and you're $1 short and a day late, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that you don't hold political office anymore. And I made sure no one was around me, so he understood what I was saying was serious.
Yeah.
It wasn't to get a clout or whatever. The same thing I used to do to people in high school who were bullies. I tell them, when no one was around, you keep it up, I'm going to knock you out.
Yeah, but then when somebody says, gives you that compliment, I mean, you could follow that with "you ain't seen nothing yet," or "yeah, and I'm getting better all the time because I'm watching my victories and
Well, I'll be dead serious with you. When I said you ain't seen nothing yet, I had no idea what the next move was. Because the X Factor came out, I knew the response was going to be something, because all these councils ever had to do, all these towns ever had to do was nothing, just nothing. But they always do something. So their response put it into a next phase that then needed national correction. So then all these other things opened up. Okay, now it's this. Now we do this, this, and that. So it's only because of their mistakes they continue to make.
Yeah, you're going to be a guest on the
That's
show
the fuel.
anyway one time, but I wanted to ask you. I might have left my head. It was a really good question. The body of work thing. You could almost have a 1 minute or a 2 minute thing that if you were going to show up somewhere, you could send that to them ahead of time and say, listen, we've been engaged and we understand some, so we're going to come and address it. And we're going to do it as nice as we can. And let's see how it goes. Because if you walk in and they don't know who you are, you're going to get one reaction. But if you set the stage for it, like, it's like Billy Jack, I mean, do you remember that scene when he got the shit kicked out of him? It was like, he got surrounded in the park, an old boss hog there, and he steps right up. He goes, you want to know something? I'm going to put my right foot here. I'm going to whomp you on this side of your face right there. And there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. Oh, really? Yeah. And then he did. So it's sort of like you could do that without fighting. You could say, we're going to do this, and there's nothing you can do about it that's going to work. This is
it's important to note here for anybody who wants to, criticize the approach or the creative expression, how, those things are very easily criticized by people who sit on the sidelines. But it's important to note that the very first time I came there was in April, very professional, very polite. Nothing but respectful and courteous. And that's when I warned them that if they're going to throw someone out for saying the F word, then you don't have freedom of speech. You're disallowing words, and we're supposed to have freedom of speech. I was very didn't work, but that didn't work.
Freedom is an F word too.
So for anyone who thinks that it's like going into a town and doing this out of the gate, no, that's where it ends up.
But that's what
it doesn't start there.
Save yourself some trouble one day, years down the road. You're going to be going somewhere and say, why don't we see if we can just negotiate a mini surrender without going anywhere? Send them something that shows your body of work, give them references to call, and saying, contact these people and ask them what's going to happen next.
Well, the township of Bergenfield, right? They violate the First Amendment right by shutting off the comments, which a lot of towns do, right? So when I emailed the township and I told them, because they were one of the towns that I was going to visit, there's two people who had reached out to me telling me about Bergenfield, mayor of whatever his name is, Amato, or Arvin or whatever, telling me to go there, right? I sent them an email telling them to correct the problem and gave them examples and stuff. A week later, comments were on. I fixed the situation with an email and used a body of work as a reference to show them.
Yeah.
To show them what's in the public, what I've done for public interest.
Yeah.
And that was nice. I didn't have to go into that town. I didn't have to waste, portions of my day to address the issue in person to try to make a spectacle about it. It's never about a spectacle.
Yeah.
It's about doing what's right.
But you're developing such a more of a force between then and now that's what I'm saying is you may be able to strike some respect.
Oh, I've been
into them.
leveraging the body of work that we've all been doing, that I've taken part in. I've been leveraging the hell out of it.
Okay,
Because
well,
I'm
hey,
using it as a currency, 100%.
Well,
Getting
then
my best bang for my buck, if you will.
We need a sign that when you already know exactly what I'm about to say, you can go like this. What you're doing then, body of work precedes you, and yeah,
He's zinging out.
on. I got a good upskirt,
Is it just me, or are we losing Jim?
Yeah, I couldn't hear it. It was like zing.
Really?
Lost it for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't hear.
Cut out.
How about now? 10-4. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Loud and clear.
10-4. Somebody's having fun.
Can you repeat what you said with the same enthusiasm and the same feeling that you just did?
Could I do it like this, like I'm on a radio? I probably could. Over.
Yeah, it's got the exact same energy, though. Exact same tone, same delivery.
No, probably not. I can't remember things.
Nobody can. That moment's over.
I could match the force, but it would be a whole different
right.
Whole different thing, Yeah. So, well, same thing. I liked the gavel that you had waiting, and when you had in effect your objection.
And it was sustained.
You out gavelled him. I mean, you didn't reply to his gavel with a gavel, which is what anybody else might have done. You waited till he deserved your gavel, and because you were getting your time taken away, and you want to stop the clock, gavel. Like call.
I had a practice run. I had a practice run at the gavel. Is what it comes down to. So I knew I was going to correct any issue with that gavel, but I had brought that to Union City for the first time because Mayor Stack doesn't listen to us.
Well, you don't
he talks while we're talking, so I banged the gavel on him, and then I realized that I'm going to use this thing to correct any issues in the future.
Did you bang it hard? See, what you don't want to do is have the gavel and bang it once and it breaks, because that'll ruin the effect. And the only reason I can tell you that, I'll shorten the story. A lot of the girls having a problem with her guy.
So there's a gentleman, Ray Mitchell.
Her guy roommates, and I wanted to be the guy to come over. And so what I did is I took a whole bunch of coins I had saved and I put them in a really pretty thick sock, because it might have come down to it. It was my thing. But the thing is, when I did this to post outside an apartment, just holding up the thing, I did that for effect, and the sock shattered and change went everywhere, and I had a sock.
It works because it's a pocket size.
But they started.
I can really beat the podium up.
Well, look,
anything bigger will really break the podium.
Understand what I'm saying is, I had nothing. I needed that weapon. You don't need your gavel to fight somebody. I'm just saying, but I didn't run a dry run. You said, yeah, I'd practice, and I'm thinking the sock. I should have practiced. They helped me. They helped me. We all laughed, and they helped me pick up the change, and the situation went away. So that was better than a fight any day.
Yeah.
Can I play another video from Union City?
Yeah. I definitely got time.
I have. You can't give me access to that screen, can you? I can't. We can't hear you.
You're on mute.
Mute.
Yeah. Try it. I don't know.
Can I put remove from stage? Am I on stage? No.
Yes.
Can you see the video?
You would come up as a guest. You should come up as a guest when you play it or share it.
No,
so I'd have to. No, all right. Inside.
We'll wait till you go inside.
What happened to your guest? What happened to your guest, Lefty? They couldn't get on, or they couldn't make it in?
Sue, did she ever figure it out?
I guess not. I just text her again to ask her what's up.
Well, sometimes we have problems, technical issues. People got lives going on,
Yeah. Well, but this one started with technical issues. We're hoping to balance the scales.
Yeah.
Now, this was actually a very good replacement.
That's why I love live radio.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it worked out. You guys had it covered pretty good. So I got something I didn't get around to in time that I got to get to is kind of soon. So I'm on a very limited.
I want to get off maybe by like 6:15, maybe the next 10, 20 minutes, and then I just want to play that interaction where Mikey brought the gavel first.
All right, I'm going to tell her forget it. Okay.
And I just want to shout out South Jersey News, Vinny. Like, share, and subscribe. Vinny's been doing some amazing things, and his video editing quality is awesome. Some of your videos when I'm watching, I'm like, that is so well produced. So shout out to Vinny from South Jersey News for everything he's doing.
And so we want to reschedule, not ship can it. Just
I'll see if she wants to reschedule.
Yeah, because it would be best to start and have full time and attention on that without it. And I guess I could rearrange things if I had to stay longer, if that were going to happen. But I got till 6:15. I want to see what else we got here, because
you got to see this video. It's great.
Oh, the gavel thing was that was just pure. That's Mikey.
He's like, hey, air clown, air clown.
Yeah. Power of the gavel.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. When I pulled that out in Edison, everybody looked at me like, he's got a gavel. Oh God.
Yeah. Well,
of course he does.
What's it? A few good men, or you're out of order. You're out of somebody. It reminded me of that, taking out your own gavel.
It's better than screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it wasn't like you had to get checked on the way in, and somebody said, "What are you bringing a little gavel in for, sir?"
You could have said you're going to pound some chicken cutlets.
Right, yeah.
So, I'm making pizza.
Yeah. I want to see that. I want to see more.
All right,
here we go. Okay. So we have everybody here. So we have Christo, Mikey, Lefty's there, Full Court Press, Leroy Truth, Scalzo Photo, and myself.
Wow, all stars.
All stars. We were all at this meeting. We're all in it to win it together. So we'll start here, all right, guys? Let me put it full screen.
Yeah.
And play.
Yeah, Mikey, what's your channel? I go by Social Justice Water Pipe, also known as Bomb Polio. On YouTube. I'll keep it rather brief so we can make our rounds here. But for the most part, we brought a PA system. We used our microphones. They wouldn't use the other microphone that we asked them to use. I got into a little gavel banging war with the mayor because he kept talking while I was speaking.
He was talking over you.
Talking over me, so I'm banging the gavel on him. He's banging the gavel on me. And I was there because, as a constitutional activist, First Amendment activist, watching Leroy get ripped out of the church, watching him get ripped out of the State House, completely unbelievable. So I wanted to be here to support Leroy, give Brian Stack hell. He's a disgrace of a person, let alone a public official. And we'll move it on to Lefty here.
Hello. Let's start the clock properly, please. I'll wait. All right, thank you. Now the clock's back to 0. All right. I'm going to ask that none of you speak amongst yourself while I'm speaking. Show a little integrity, show a little respect. None of us are speaking over any speakers, so none of you better dare to speak while I'm speaking. Brian, you're speaking. Stop speaking while I'm speaking, Mayor Brian Stack. You're out of order. You're out of order, buddy. Hey, yo, wait, Mayor Clown.
This is
out of order.
This is amazing.
They just don't even care. They just don't even care there. It's so weird.
Yeah, hey, listen. Can you just get this to me PM on Facebook or something. I need to have this around where I
Like
can bring it up.
Vinny brought the PA with the speakers so they could hear us because we can't hear them.
I
You
spent
cannot hear them.
$700 on a PA system so they can hear me.
They have you barred off at half court, right? Because of public safety concerns. You see what's going on?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man, it's great. Yeah, freaking amazing.
Worst meetings ever. And
Worst
fun.
meetings ever.
Well, one of the most entertaining meetings I've ever seen.
They're empty. They're like you leave the meeting feeling like you went to half of a meeting. There's like an empty feeling, and it's bizarre.
So I have Lefty here if you want to play it. I got your interaction.
We don't care if Lefty wants to hear it. He was there. I want to hear it.
Let's see.
Yeah, plus he wheeled like 30.
Disability rights.
You have him
For us, we're a 501c3 fighting for disability rights. And if you're disabled, Union City is probably the worst place to live. And Bryan Stack is doing nothing about it. You have urban enterprise zones with no wheelchair access. You got a police station with no wheelchair access. And we couldn't fight for wheelchair access without the First Amendment. So that's why we're here to support Leroy, because he's been getting screwed over by Bryan Stack. And it's disgusting. I've never been to hundreds of council meetings. I've never seen a less transparent meeting than Union City. It's a shit show.
Right. Thank you.
My name is Edward Lefty Grimes. I'm with sativacross.org. We're a 501c3 here in Hudson County. And did you guys bring your own sound system?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, because I can't hear you guys.
Lefty, you want to tell them how the meetings are, or you can't really hear them at
So
all?
far away, and they wouldn't be able to hear us without the sound system. Mikey actually brought a backup in case they didn't allow that sound system, because I wasn't sure they were going to allow you to have that sound system. So Mikey brought an old school bullhorn from the 1930s that they used to use, and we were going to use that. It's ridiculous. You can't. How do you interact with your government like this? You can't hear them. They're going through motions and resolutions. You can't hear them. It's absolutely ridiculous. And if you're disabled and you can't speak or you can't hear, you're screwed.
And then you came late to this meeting. We're gonna play the video real fast, and I'm gonna see how people react.
I don't know why you guys can't have a sound system, because I can't hear you.
We offered him a mic.
And you offered, they wouldn't take the mic. You wouldn't take the mic. Why wouldn't we take the mic? We can't hear you. And I'm disabled. You have other people that are disabled that can't hear you. I had to park by Popeyes to come here in my wheelchair. And I had to navigate all the streets that had the curb cutouts blocked by traffic.
How many blocks is Popeyes from?
Oh, it must be over 10 blocks, 15 blocks. It's a while.
How insane is that? You got a man in a wheelchair and you had to go 10 blocks.
At least
you couldn't find a handicapped parking spot?
No.
That's crazy. That is crazy to me.
No parking, and they change the meeting every week. So it's
then you get to this. When you finally make it, you can't hear it.
Yeah, and then you come to this shit show. It's an absolute shit show. Never seen nothing like it before.
And all the driveways, it was a ridiculous trek together. I was late. And I'm really disgusted the way these meetings have gone, because this is not how a meeting should run. How come you don't run these meetings like they run the State House meetings, according to Robert's rules? You don't follow Robert's rules here, but you follow them at the State House.
Except when they kick Leroy Truth out. Except when they kick Leroy Truth out. That was a little crazy. What the hell was that at the State House? That was insane.
Insane.
Mm-hmm.
So
Bryan Stack threw him out.
We're all there to support the First Amendment. We're all there to support disability rights, cannabis rights. We all have our own view on what we're supporting, but in the end, we're supporting the First Amendment. So I'm glad we actually all can come together and do this as a team, which I love.
Nice.
Hell of a team.
Yeah, the First Amendment's what opens the doors. I mean, the First Amendment, when I picketed Congressman Frank Ballone's house with my wife's wheelchair, memorial wheelchair at that point. Yeah, it was like to be able to say, they had me leaving at night because, people fear for their life and property. They can't see your sign because it was out in front of his house with a sign on the wheelchair. saying he lied while my wife died. But anyway, I agreed to go then because, you know, that sounded like statutory talk, you know, feared for their life and property. Oh, okay, you're going to claim that. But then when I said I'll come back in the morning and they better know the Constitution, they read the Bill of Rights, they won't have to read long. It's the First Amendment. And I'm going to be here and I'm going to be mic'd for sound and videoed from across the street, which I was. And yeah, First Amendment rocks, man. You know,
When we're all together, we're like the Avengers of New Jersey activism.
hey, you can this is worth your own comic book, probably. You know, I mean, it's comedic adventures, the gavel thing and all. That have a comic book with that, man. Think about it.
You got the heroes, you have the villains.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
you know, fighting for a better outcome.
The popular guy in these meetings, I tell you.
It's a great political love story.
He's got some great ideas at these meetings. Coming to the phone, coming with the gavel. I mean, who thinks of this stuff?
Yeah, an artist. That's the best part. My gallery is not on paintings on a wall. My galleries are those kinds of meetings, you know, council meetings.
Well, what do you think of this? One time, real quick, I was on the phone with Congressman Jim Saxton's chief of staff. That's how long ago it was. And I used some circuitous logic on him, and he answered the same question 5 minutes later with a different answer. And I told him that, and he said, no, I didn't. I said, you want me to play it back for you? And he lost his shit, telling me, and I didn't record it even, you know, I just said that. And he lost his shit and started screaming at me. All right, so, you know, that ended. I put that in my hip pocket because we were going to Washington like 6 weeks later. And yes, it was in the office. We were talking, and he said something, and it wasn't quite right. And I pulled out a cassette tape out of my shirt pocket, which didn't have anything on it. I just went, you know, like that. And he changed his freaking tune, you know.
Yeah.
So I did. I bluffed.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, I figured you might appreciate that.
Want me to play it back? No, see that just gave me like chills, man. That's that real time thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I used to be able to think quicker, you know. And it's not the pot. I've been smoking pot 50 years. I guess it's getting old, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you know, it's those scenarios if you're after something like the truth or something, and someone's spending so much time and effort to hide it or something, they put themselves in so many moments where they're susceptible to you getting them, you know.
Yeah.
So the more corrupt, the more you gotta lie. The more you lie, the more someone may be able to find something on you.
You would have been proud of me when I was on a trial for blocking Congressman Bob Barr's door with Cheryl, you know, and the prosecutor. I was parking or something, come back, and Cheryl was sitting over there. I went to be on the phone, and I looked over, and the prosecutor, the woman, she's bending over talking to Cheryl, and I screamed out, "No, back away from her! Back away from her!" And the whole place, like, you know, went on like fight or flight. What's going on? You know? And I walked over and I told her, you know, in no uncertain terms. And it was really cool because I was in over my head. It was the first time I yelled out, it was like, oh boy, I got to follow that, man. I can't pull that back, you know? So I was like okay, if this is a movie, what would happen? And I went over there and I really laid it down, you know? Yeah. And then the next day when we came back, we came across the street, going right to the court building in Washington. And she just walked across like red light. And in Washington, cars, I don't know what it is, but they take that shit seriously. They don't get near somebody. And the same thing I yelled out, and citizens arrest, crossing at a red light. And she turns around, it's me and Cheryl. It's like, yeah, they did outsmart us though. They scheduled a 4-day trial and refused to take care of Cheryl, refused to let her be in the courtroom with me because she would taint the jury, you know. And I wasn't prepared to have somebody taken care of for 4 days. You know, and they did that. It was like, you know, I got admiration for it as a good move. You knew I'd have to plead, you know. And then, well, no, No, I knocked him out with that one. No, it was,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
but we did have the last laugh, and then I get going. The thing is, that my lawyer did make the deal that I would plead guilty. In return, they don't get to say squat, and we get to speak to the judge. Just us and not them. So when we started, and before passing sentence, we got to do that. And the judge said, "Look, I want you to see is a picture of Cheryl with Congressman Barr 2 days before that. Now you can see there's no animosity, so it wasn't with blah 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 blah. But as soon as he started that, the other guys, there was no mention of photos, no mention of photos. The prosecution has photos too, and they were waving photos. The judge is looking at the photo by then. He goes, 'Sit down. You're not even allowed to.' And he backhanded him, 'Sit down.' And when he looked at the photo, because we're in a semicircle, I went like that to get his attention, kind of, got you, And in the end, because he's looking at that and sure we cheated, he said, 'Listen, I have to get $50 for victims' compensation fund, but other than that, no fine, no time, and I wish you well with what you're doing.'" Oh man, it was the biggest. It was a $50 bitch slap. So but that they got that because they had like 8 police waiting to tell the same story, and I wasn't good. Yes, it's all true. So why 4 days? But anyway, hey, listen, I thought it was a pretty good, pretty good pickup game here tonight. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I love moments like that you just described.
I got all kinds of videos if you guys want to see them, man.
Oh yeah, listen, yeah, I was
do this again.
Yeah, I need to access some of this video work you got. Look, social justice water pipe, is that right?
Social justice water pipe, South Jersey News, even
I got to add some more videos. I still, I created the channel to have, some sort of documentation of videos. I want to learn to make my own videos and edit. Like Vinny does a great job doing it.
Yeah.
So I've been meaning to do that or whatever. I'm still not keeping up with it, but that's not the main purpose or whatever. That's the side project of it all. I enjoy going to these meetings. I enjoy fighting to affect change.
Well,
it's a process of taking my power back. You've seen my journey, Jim.
Yeah,
I've come a long way to be able to now check bullies and do it on my terms. The days of being bullied are over.
You're not recording. I'm recording, Mikey. So don't worry. I got your back.
Yeah. But see, look at you now. Look at you now. I don't know. I'm picturing Al Pacino do that somewhere in Scarface. I don't know. It's what I feel like imparting to you, though. You're out the gate, man. You're out, and it's kind of way more within your power to do what you do. And the fact, especially two of you on the bottom of the screen here, you can't see I'm pointing at you. How's that look to you? Whatever. Yeah. There you go. I'm bad at that.
Well,
but you know what I mean, right? It's the being able to bring this up like that and show that here is you're taking something home with you every time for later. It's a physical body of work, not just a body of work, stuff. So yeah, I'm glad to see.
And it's always been important for me to always add the humorous approach or whatever, because that's kind of just how I live. I don't take things too seriously. I don't take myself entirely seriously. I can laugh at myself. Some people, they can't do those things. So I appreciate the fun when we have throughout all these things, like when Vinny brought his own PA system, all of a sudden I'm in this empty meeting in a gymnasium. Now I'm amplified. I want it to be like, hey, look, Ma, I'm a movie star, because we're going to laugh. We're going to make jokes. Because in the end, all they've ever really had to do, a lot of these townships, is at best nothing. You don't want to fix problems or whatever and this and that. That's one thing. But if you do nothing, you save yourself so much extra trouble and nonsense because we're going to get you.
I agree. Hey, I got to go, man. I'm well overdue, and Vinny and Mikey especially, man.
Jim.
I'm real happy to have this way more clear to me. I was right about it from the beginning. I'm just glad you all could hang in there and be that regular because, man, you got to be tenacious as shit to do that,
Well,
seriously.
I know Lefty and Mikey knew each other. Yeah. But if it wasn't for Christo, we wouldn't have evolved like this.
Yeah, but then you're driving now 2 hours to do something because you're in,
Well, I just feel like it's the right thing. That's the bottom line.
From somebody who doesn't have to do anything to also benefit from the enjoyment and everything else, thank you.
No, thank you. You guys are all activists.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I mean,
everybody does what they can, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna jump off too. Okay,
Okay.
Linda will be on next week. I moved her there. All right. And South Jersey, if you want to talk to me later, I'll leave you my email.
Okay.
I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
On the private chat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Just tell them I'm going to do it. I suck at my exit. I got to tell them, all right, I'm on my way. Ha!
Before we go, Lefty, can I just play the interaction with Christo? I just feel like we should.
Sure.
I got your email, Sue. Thank you.
You got it? Okay.
Yes.
All right. We'll talk. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night, Sue.
Good night.
All right. I am. 1 second here, guys. There we go.
And who are you? And tell the camera about you.
Jersey Watcher YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe. I'm the reason Edison banned the American flag. So the reason why I came to the Union City meeting today is simply because at the State House they removed Leroy, at the church they removed Leroy. Everywhere Leroy goes, his First Amendment rights are being violated. I like to look around the state to see who else is being treated like me. And apparently the only person I can find is you, Leroy. And yeah. Also, at the meeting, this is the second time a security guard was going unhinged, trying to attack my friend here, South Jersey News, Vinny. I'm disgusted about that. And as for the Union City Police, they continue escalating rather than de-escalate. They escalate. There's more cameras, and that's it.
So I wanted to say, you know, I appreciate Christo a lot, man, and every interaction that I've seen with him, you know, fighting for everybody's rights, your rights, his rights, is always amazing to watch. And I've been watching Christo for years, even though I've been a childhood friend of his. I've always watched his videos. I always was inspired, but he's the one that actually inspired me to come out here and to stand up for what's right. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Christo is very, very, very good guy. Very good guy. He's a good man, and he, you know, he's been taken advantage of, and you know, they've really put him through the ringer with everything. So it's nice to see him, you know, overcoming some of these things, and all of us supporting it. You know, I appreciate that. We're there to be able to help him, and the future holds nothing but bright things.
Absolutely. What I will say is I did actually like how we went around the table and we talked about it after the meeting. I think we should do a little bit more of that.
Yeah, when I watched your video, the way you broke it down like that, where it was interview and then the speech or whatever, it was done so nice. I thought that was great. That could be like a theme that you always do. Yeah, when we go out.
So maybe after the meetings, we start talking to each other and doing a little Q&A and stuff like that. I mean, I actually really liked the way that turned out. Not because it was a cool video, but just because you get a little bit more insight as to what you guys were thinking. You gave your experience as to why you were there and how you got there, and you know, just a little more background. It's nice to hear.
Yeah,
so.
and I want to say with Crystal also, he's very, very, very smart, very talented, very, very talented in this space. He's very intelligent, you know, and he inspires me as well. Both of you guys do, you know. Lefty, we've been inspired by each other for years and years. You know, I'm inspired by you, Vinny, with your busy schedule to still fit this in because you understand the good that it does. It's an insurance policy. At the end of the day,
my busy schedule.
Vinny, I'm telling you, man, you inspire me, man. The way that life is all about balance.
That's it, man.
And there's positive and negative energy in the world, and to fulfill as much positivity while fighting the negative forces is difficult. You know, it's just difficult to balance it all or whatever. And I love that you jump in this space or whatever head first, dive head first. You know.
Thanks, man. Well, I'm gonna sign off. This was really cool. I think we should do this again. Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Thank
Yep.
you.
And yeah, we're going to get off here too. I want to thank the Mad Hatter for having us here. We're having a huge event at the Mad Hatter on the 5th of April, Tea Party, and also on Earth Day, huge party on Earth Day. You want to be here for that one.
Hell yeah.
CMMNJ, UFCW, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, and SativaCross.org, where you can donate $1 or $100 to Sativa Cross. We prefer 100. And this is our list that we have that we do every week. It sucks. It's a horrible list of all our friends and family that are still waiting for cannabis. Like Cheryl Miller, Jim's late wife, who pretty much got me into activism because I didn't know about the endocannabinoid system and how it helped people with MS until I saw how Jim helped his wife with cannabis for her MS. And she was very stiff and rigid. She couldn't move. She couldn't move her arms. She was stiff. And then he'd give her the cannabis, and all of a sudden she could move, and he could exercise her and move her arms and do what she needed to have done. It was eye-opening for me because then I learned about the endocannabinoid system, and I learned that the government didn't just lie to me about. They lied. They just lied. The government lied a lot about cannabis, about a bunch of shit. But I knew they lied, but I knew they really lied. When I saw Cheryl and how it helped her, I'm like, wow, this is ridiculous. And then there's Sabina Rose. She's a 15-month-old baby. She died of a 25-hour seizure. And like I say, I can't imagine having a 10-minute seizure. She had a 25-hour seizure, Dravet syndrome. And she needed cannabis, and she couldn't get it. She was in New Jersey. But at the time, you had to have a psychiatrist check on a child. A psychiatrist had to see a 1-year-old baby. It took 4 months of her life to find a psychiatrist. And then when they found him, what are you going to ask a 1-year-old baby? So that took time away that she needed. Diane, Gracie, Cindy Mae, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy, Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay. Jay was the guy who sings, "Who you want to roll with? Who you want to roll with?" He was a singer for our band, which was called Lefty. Yeah, it was called Lefty, the band. And he called me 2 weeks before he died. He's like, "Lefty, I need to get on this medical cannabis program. I want to get off the crap. I want to get off the opiates." And at the time, it was very hard to get a card. And I told him all the hoops he had to jump through and how much money it was going to cost and how much time he had to wait. And it was easier for Jay to just go down the corner and get a $10 bag of dope, and he wound up dying. And I always regret not going to just smoke with him that day. Like I should have just drove down there to Plainfield and smoked some dank with him, because probably it's really, really needed. So if somebody calls you and they want to get on some dope, go smoke a joint with them. Don't be like Lefty. Don't have a regret in your life. Jackie Rickert, Anthony, Jake, Armando. Armando has the best stories. He was cool. He was my mechanic for many, many years. And I used to smoke him up and dab him up, and he would still fix my car well. And he had the best story, though, because when he would smoke weed, this is funny. He says he would stand out in the field, and he would pull down his zipper and pull his pecker out and pretend he was peeing. And he would smoke the joint, so if anybody saw him, they would think he was just peeing. But he was actually smoking a joint. I'm like, that's brilliant. The old okey doke.
Whatever's clever, man. That's great.
I love that. It's just some fun stuff, man. Armando had a tailbone cancer. Never heard of tailbone cancer before, but you have now. And I guess it spread. It wasn't just in his tailbone, but apparently it started in his tailbone. Why? I don't know. We live in Jersey, man. We got chromium everywhere. We got chromium in Bayonne. They cleaned the chromium in Bayonne by digging up 2 feet of dirt and taking it to an EPA. So what about all the 3 feet down and all the water seepage of all the chromium and all the? No, that's okay. That's all good. 2 feet of dirt for 50 years of contamination. That's why we all have cancer and MS and all this other shit. Maybe. I'm not a doctor. Oh, this list, man. Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Mikey V. I have your aunt Lori on here. Is there any updates on
my
was it
Uncle
her?
Perry? Yeah, my Uncle Perry's still hanging in there. Every time we do, every time that we go through this list, and I'm on the podcast and I join you, it always reminds me I gotta reach out again, see how he's doing, which this always serves as a reminder to do so. Yeah, Lori was my aunt. She was dying of cancer. Carrie, her husband, needed to get weed. So, at the time there was, I had to break the law so I could get weed, risk incarceration, legal trouble, so I could bring her medicine that she needed and, to help with the quality of her life during that last leg. And then it turned out just recently that her husband now has cancer. So, but he's hanging in there. I'm going to reach out to him actually if I get up this.
I will say this. So my mom recently passed in January of not this year, but the previous year. And she was in a lot of pain. She had breast cancer, but it spread to her lungs, her spine, her liver, and all that stuff. And she was in a lot of pain. And the only thing that really, really helped her out was edibles. So, I will say, man, it's better to see someone not in pain and not suffer. And I'm happy that this passed because before this, she was doing the brownies. My brother would make her brownies, weed brownies, but again, breaking the law, like you said. So I'm happy it all got passed. It all went through. And that's all I got to say.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that with us.
Thank you. Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne Peters. This guy was a character, man. I really like what he had to say because he would be laughing at all of our efforts with medical cannabis home grow and laws and regulations. He would say, no mens rea. No mens rea. It's your God-given right to have a plant. It's your God-given right to smoke weed. You have to have a guilty mind. And who's the victim? If you're smoking weed, growing weed, who's the victim? The entity?
I am the law.
The government? I am the law. I need the entity to tell me what my God-given rights are. And that was Thorne Peters' basic podcast every time. It was just no mens rea, no mens rea, until you got it drilled in your head. No mens rea. Pretty much like, was Rosa Parks breaking the law? Was she wrong for breaking the law when she sat in the front of the bus? She broke the law. Was she wrong? Was it wrong for black people to not be able to marry white people? Did we need laws to say that black people can marry white people? We needed laws that says a black man can marry a white woman. We needed a law. That's ridiculous. Why do we need a law for that? It's your God-given right there. No mens rea. And they killed Thorne Peters in jail for selling weed outside the courthouse. He was an agitator. He would go out there and sell weed outside the courthouse in Tennessee. Where they would kill you in jail for doing that, which was what they did. They killed him in jail. Yeah, look up Thorne Peters. Watch one of his podcasts. He's been dead a while now, but I tell you, that's timeless stuff. Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jay Bird, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, Red, Rico, Lou, Becky, LaWanda, Chip, Paul, Lisa, Marcus, Gary, Julia, Jeff Oakes.
Jeff Oakes, baby.
Love me some Jeff Oakes.
Everybody did, baby. Jeff Oakes, best activist ever, best man ever, best
he was just,
everything ever.
Man, that dude. I miss that guy.
Nothing but love from him.
Yeah.
He touched so many people too.
He sure did. Yeah, I don't hang out too much with many people. Mikey knows. I'll come over to your house once in a while, and that's about it. I used to go to Jeff, hang out with Jeff, just chill, just smoke weed, watch fights, and just chill. And he was just cool to hang out with and just chill with and talk to. He was just very salt of the earth kind of guy. I don't know how to explain it. He was just very easygoing, very smart. Always would have great advice. Sage advice, always with the sage advice.
He went. I'll put it like this: Jeff was a fighter, and he went out like a goddamn fighter, and knew he was leaving an impact not only on the world but on individual hearts across the board. If you were privileged and lucky enough to have crossed paths and met him, you know what I'm talking about. And the power from that man still lives on even after his passing. Just as powerful, sometimes more powerful.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for a great podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Rui from Garden State of Mind is in the next room, and he's going to be setting up an event here. We're having a puff and paint here, hopefully April or May.
Nice.
So that'll be fun. This is going to be like a destination spot for stoners and patients alike. It really is.
My brother's a big time smoker.
I want to go.
Yeah.
He wants to go. Lead us off in prayer there.
What's that?
I said, lead us off in prayer. Ye that grow old.
Yeah, this isn't actually a prayer. It's actually written by a man during World War I.
I love that prayer. I love it. Every time I hear it, I love it.
It was said at rugby games, and I'm like, what is this that they keep saying at rugby games? And it was this thing from Australia and England and France. I guess all the allies had this thing that they used to say. And it goes like this. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
I like that.
Good stuff.
And especially after you said what you said about all the people that left us, as we remember them as they. It's just great. I love
It
that.
brings us all back to home base again, like why we do this, and
right,
and it just brings it back home.
What you were able to just experience. That's why I'm saying thank you, Vinny, for sharing your story about your mom, because you just got to experience the whole way that Lefty likes to wrap up his show with that exact feeling, to reground you, same way you take your socks off, put your feet in the ground, reground, reassess, and get back at it.
Yeah, get back to work.
Great podcast, guys.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
See ya.
See ya.